So hundreds of thousands of people at all of those events, and hundreds of thousands of them with a hangover the morning after. You can pretty much guarantee that.
That's absolutely right. Apparently, young people in particular are increasingly following a trend, though, called mindful drinking. So they're taking into account the money that alcohol costs, the implications on their health, and on their fitness.
Let's talk to Laura Willoughby from Club Soda, their healthy lifestyle movement group, and young musicians Emma Chissy and Jack Jewell, who's got the best name ever for a musician. It's a great name. It's a great name. Laura, talk us through Club Soda and what you do.
Well, we help people change their drinking, whether their goal is to cut down, stop for a bit, quit, or even stick to a longer-term goal. And this year we've launched a pub guide, because we realised that whilst people might want to change their drinking, not drink as much, they still want to go out to the pub. And so we've done a guide for all the best pubs for low and no alcohol drinks.
Because it is rubbish, as someone who doesn't drink, it's rubbish going out to the pub. You get fed up of drinking anything that's...
Yeah, but it's getting a lot better, and there's actually a lot of really good craft non-alcoholic beers coming onto the market, and things are improving. And really good pubs should be taking account of all of their customers. 1 in 7 people in a pub aren't drinking at any one time. 1 in 5 Brits are trying to moderate their drinking in some way. It's a big and growing market. We think pubs can do a lot better, and we want to help customers find the best pubs.
Well, let's talk to Emma and Jack. And why do you think it is that young people are wanting to take this up so much?
Well, I would have thought wellness is becoming more important for many people, and the things that we ingest have subtle effects on our bodies, and the alcohol content can cause disorientation, confusion, and people, I think, would benefit from having more options. There would be maybe a natural, energetic alternative, and
you really like Club Mate. It's a kind of tea, like iced teas. There's all these different kind of drinks that are coming out now, which actually have like a perking up effect, but they're not actually harmful for your body.
Does that mean they've got caffeine in them, things like that?
Some have caffeine, like the green teas, some of them, yeah, and some, like, there's also different herbs that are like interesting. So you have more options out there that we know about, but they're not really providing in many places.
So it depends on what's trendy, though, doesn't it? Because there's still an awful lot of young people, I mean, perhaps even more in the more deprived parts of the country, who just want to go out and get smashed.
But they don't necessarily want to do it every night of the week. So people do take 3 days off, some people only do it at the weekends. The biggest drinkers in the UK are actually over 50s. But what's interesting to know is a non-alcoholic beer is the healthiest thing you can drink in the pub next to water. Low in calorie, no added sugar.
See, I got into drinking non-alcoholic beer when I was pregnant, and I would never have drunk beer normally, but I was, I could have been seen drinking from a bottle. It was lovely. And people aren't necessarily aware of what's out there, are they?
Pubs aren't aware either, and we've been doing a lot of work. I'm now known as the alcohol-free beer lady in Shoreditch, which I never thought I would be saying. But the minute I show pubs and bars what range there is out there, and if they sell it with confidence, it means the customer gets a better deal. And we all love the pub. We're British.
What about the stuff that isn't like an alcohol substitute? Because I wouldn't go and I wouldn't drink an alcohol-free beer because I don't want to taste the beer anymore since I gave it up. So what is there for the likes of me?
There are lots of craft sodas that are low in sugar as well, and pubs should be really looking at sugar as well as alcohol, because if we're health conscious, we want less sugar. Personally, I drink a lot of water in the pub, come out beautifully hydrated, but also you can pimp your water with cordial and other things that are more interesting. It's hard to match your mate's pint for pint with fizzy Coke, but you certainly can stand there with a drink of a non-alcoholic beer and not damage your health, hang around with your mates and still be in the pub, which I think is the important thing.
Emma, do you think we could see an era then where, in the way that we've seen smoking going down, sort of drinking to excess could be going down and trends could be changing?
I think so, definitely. There is a statistic of... What's the statistic?
Because 1 in 5 people are trying to change their drinking in some way, and that could be just to moderate, not drink some nights of the week, and some nights you just don't want to drink, so how can we make sure that there's something for everybody?
And
go on, finish. Go.
Yeah, a lot of young people don't want to, maybe because they've seen their parents getting wasted or whatever, they don't really want to do that anymore. It's like a different scene going on.
Do you drink at all, Jack?
Only occasionally. I think it's all about levels of appropriateness. There are certain times where I'd really benefit from having a non-alcoholic drink, and the opportunities of choices that are presented to me just aren't really there. A lot of non-alcoholic drinks contain things like glucose syrups and other added sugars, which are often more times a lot harmful, even comparatively to alcohol. And when there's wellness and other things in mind, one just wants healthier options.
It's an interesting idea. I think people get fed up with being lectured that they need to give up the booze, but to say you can moderate it with something else is an interesting option.
I don't ever want to tell anyone what to do. What I want to do is give people the choices. And if you've got a local pub that you go to and you want something different on the shelf, you know what? If you ask a pub, they'll stick it on the shelf. We need to be slightly more consumer focused and go and say what it is that we want.
Lovely. I'd love everyone's thoughts on that.
Yes.
If you would, I think it's a great idea actually. Laura, Emma, Jack, good to see you all this morning. And if you fancy having moderating your drinking with something else, it's worth giving it a shot. Let us know if you fancy that this morning at Sky Stephen, at Sunrise Isabel on Twitter. We're talking to